What is up, Honey Badger Nation? This is John Kitchens, and welcome to episode 155 of Expert Mentors Live. I am pumped up for today's episode. We have a treat in store for everybody. The one and only Bruce and Lindsay Stevens. What's up? Say hello to everybody.
What is up, Honey Badger Nation? We're so pumped. Like, how do we have the honor of seeing you? I mean, this is what, twice in 2 weeks?
I know, crazy.
Myself.
We can thank Iva for that scheduling.
Thanks, Iva.
Yeah, for sure. So for those of you guys tuning in, Expert Mentors Live is really by, I don't even know if you guys know the whole story. So when we started with EXP and you know, Kyle and Dan came on board, they came together and they said, hey, we need to have a conversation. So it was Jay, Michael, Al, me, Kyle, Dan, and they go, hey, we need to do something on a consistent basis to showcase the rock stars that we have in this organization, in this community. And in kinder fashion, he goes, man, there's nobody more consistent and disciplined than Kitchens. I say we let him run with it. I was like, oh, thanks, guys.
That's for damn sure. We know that.
So that's where Expert Mentors was born. It was off of Dan and Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle's recommendation. And here we are, you know, 155 episodes later. But I'm really grateful for you guys to make the time. It was like we were joking, right? Coming in hot, baby.
We just literally came in so hot. We got here with 7 minutes to spare to hop on this from a 5-hour road trip. Kids fist fighting in the back of the car. The dog is still, I mean, it's just, that's how the Stevens roll though.
Hey, you know, I've had a lot of firsts, you know, from the coaching dynamic, but one of my favorites was, you know, because we like to do our coaching calls via Zoom, and Lindsay pops in one day and I'm like, I know that street. I know that background. Where are you at? And lo and behold, Key West. And I mean, it just says a lot about who you guys are and at your, you know, within your spirit and who you guys are at your core. And, you know, just being able to, hey, let's go, let's get out of here, hop in the car, and just boom, just kept going south, as far south as you could go. Yeah.
So, we like to go big, you know. Bruce, I've met my match. I mean, he can definitely, he can outwork me and outgo me, and his ideas are often much bigger than mine. And can be a little scary sometimes, but yeah, that's what it takes though, right? It's we need that balance. We need that, you know, I don't know if it's balance, but it's complement, you know, to complement each other. For everybody tuning in, you know, the Honey Badger Nation is 8,000 plus now and growing at, I base it off of what Kinder's growth rate is. I think it's still 5 to 6% month over month growth rate. So here we are, 8,000 deep and continuing to grow. There's a lot of rock stars out there, a lot of honey badgers that haven't had the opportunity to connect with the two of you. Just, you know, give the quick Cliff Note version, a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah. Well, I'll do the limited version. We started in 2003. Fast forward through that whole last meltdown, through the 2008 crash, and we reinvented ourselves in New Paltz in 2010. Been here ever since. So, you know, we could say we're a 10-year overnight success story. Just keep plugging away, and the consistency, right, is what it's all about. Yeah, we've just been, you know, just working on it every day. It's an everyday thing for us.
Yeah, right now we're a team of 26. We doubled basically over the last 6 months.
Since joining EXP.
Yeah, we joined in November, started coaching with you in late December. And just continuing to grow. I mean, every day, very much organically, people are reaching out to us and, you know, just seeing what we're doing and want to be a part of it, right? So what we're talking about is what a part of it being what we're doing. And that is the 1% better every day, right? It's it's kind of spreading through our area, just the awareness of that. and we're getting texts and messages from people doing things that they've always wanted to do, or picking that book back up that they wanted to read, or going for that jog, or getting on the bike, or whatever it is, because we're constantly putting that out there, and we're always trying to improve ourselves, right? Which is how we landed in the Honey Badger Group, which we know is like our home. Like, these people are our people. We feel like we've grown so much just from the ability to connect with the people in this organization. It's taken us, we've doubled in transaction count, in agent count. It's just allowed us to scale at a rate that I don't think we could have done if we stayed independent. So we love the Honey Badger Nation. And we've seen all the expert mentors. Actually, funny that you bring up Key West, because on the way back from Key West, we watched every 100 of the episodes. So we didn't know there. We knew the history of the show.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I was, so we were pinging back and forth, last week. What's the topic? What's the title? What's the title? And I was actually, I was on my walk Saturday, or it was the run on Sunday. Whenever I messaged you, it was Sunday, I think, because you were heading over to Lake Placid. And I was like, 1% better every day. I was like, I don't know. I was just like, it has to be that. It has to be what, this conversation is built around. And you guys, really embody that and live that. Where did that mantra for you guys really start to click and like something that you guys really run with, on a day and day basis? But where did that come from?
I think we always live that, you know what I mean? Yeah. We are goal-oriented, very growth-minded, but we understand that large goals are hard to achieve without making micro commitments and doing the little steps every day. And we're always trying to grow personally first, right? Through our health or our family or whatever it is. Our business, we know that if we can personally develop ourselves, our business will follow, right? That's what you coach us. That's what 100 Zero is all about. So we know that just doing that little bit every single day over the long haul, you'll see the gain, which I think people give up in that time because they're expecting you're going to lose 50 pounds overnight, or you're going to sell 100 houses overnight, or whatever it is that you're trying to go for. They give up before they can get there because it's not they're not understanding it's really the little steps every single day. But 1% really came from Chris Nickick. Have you seen him? Kitchens, you must know who he is.
He's the kid that just completed Ironman. It was Ironman Florida, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he has Down syndrome, and they all wore the shirt, 1% better, and he had to be tethered because he can't see, and so while he was running, swimming, biking, he was connected to other people, and it was a race for him, 17 hours they called it, because that's the cap, right? He has to finish within 17 hours. So it was their mantra. And I was like, oh my God, so good.
Yeah.
It was just so
that just kind of embodies the way we just roll in our lifestyle, right? Like, I'm always a big component of just being a man of my word. And I think living by that standard has gotten me, even before I started my own company, I was with a builder selling new construction, and all the clients came back to me eventually, like, what, can we work with you? Can, like, you know what I mean? So I was always just like not under promise, but just, gave them my word and usually over delivered on it. Right. So you just build those relationships, and that just, kind of forges the business like from the ground up. Right. You're building that foundation of trust, the know, like, and trust motto. Right. And that's where like the foundation is just built on our word, like the back of our hard work and like just the basics, right? In life, like what makes good people, what makes good relationships, why do people click with us? And it's just those things that, like, if you don't give them anything, like any ammo to, like, dog you or talk about you behind your back, they're going to do it anyway. So who cares, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like, if you just forge that path and just keep going along on, what you're looking to do. And that's, for me, is like that word thing is huge, man. I've always been a component of like doing business without contracts, like, handshake, right? Like spit on the hand, shake the hand. And that's kind of gotten us thus far. And that just, embodies that 1%. It's like just staying consistent, with yourself and your word, I think is super important. That's one of the, core values that we live by, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You guys do. And it's just, been really cool and an honor to get to know you guys, and you guys are as real as they come. And it's really cool to see. And that's why you guys are able to grow. That's why, the business has doubled. That's why, people are gravitating towards you, because you guys are living truth, right? Living to who you are. I love, the story with going back to the 1% every day. I don't know if you saw it all, right? How that all started. His mom challenged him, and he set some big goals, right? In fact, the Ironman was I think it was his third goal. His number one was a hot blonde, right? That he wanted to get hooked up with the hot blonde or something. It's funny, but Ironman was 3. And he said, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to do it by getting 1% better every day. And it's a really, really cool story. And I get goosebumps thinking about it. And, being there to see, I was listening to something Ed Milet was talking about when he lived in Coeur d'Alene, and one of the Ironman tracks up there. He said he would go out every year and he would sit there at the finish line, not to watch the winner, not to watch the pros and he would go there at the end.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
like
God.
The midnight crossers, right? Like right before
We've
those
done
are the warriors.
on the finish lines of ultras, and we were there at dark,
breaking down,
and the people coming through
crying.
that finish line will literally light your soul on fire. Like falling into their loved one's arms, and we love that stuff.
That's the best.
We love that.
Yeah.
And we were just in Ironman Lake Placid. We went to cheer on 2 people we knew, but a lot of people we didn't know. And I think it's it. A little bit every day, but the consistency. And Bruce says, 10-year overnight success. I think people
11 now. But.
Yeah, I mean, it's every day. It's one. I always say forward is a pace. If you're moving forward, you're moving. That's it. Doesn't matter how fast you're going.
Yeah.
Just
I think the gains. I'm sure you can resonate in this, John. The gains are found in that monotony, right? Like consistency. That's how you're going to get across those finish lines, and metaphor for whatever, an Ironman or business or life or whatever you're shooting for, is if you have those goals and you set the plan up, the action plan up, and that's the one big thing we're trying to instill in the people around us. Is everyone comes from a story, everyone has a background, a past, right, and hurdles that come up as excuses. And it's just owning it and using it not as a crutch and an excuse. Use it to your advantage to propel yourself forward, right? And get over those things in life that are going to be your major hurdles, and use it as a driving force in whatever it is that they want or you want in your life, right? And I think it carries over right into business, 100%. It's like,
yeah, 100%. I'm with you, and it comes down to a couple things, right? And this is where the 1% has to come in. And I would love for you guys to talk about this. It all starts with what's the goal, right? You can't 1% better at what? Right. What are we, like you said, that forward, what are we falling forward? What are we working towards? So, that component, but then, even for the 2 of you, what allows you, what's that driving force that when you don't want to keep going forward each day, what is it for you? What I know to be, it always comes down to one of 2 things, right? We're either trying to make somebody proud or we're trying to prove somebody wrong. And sometimes it's a combination of both. And one is more sustainable than the other, but one will get you going a lot quicker than the other. And so I would love for you guys, just kind of share, hey, and because one, you're living it, and I honestly believe before you can lead anybody else, you have to lead yourself.
For sure.
So what does that look like? As you guys are instilling, it's like, hey, this is the process. You got to get clear on this. So, the 1%, and then what is it to make it sustainable, right? For you guys.
What do you
want to go?
I mean, so I think getting clear on what our vision was, right? What our organization looked like. And this is on a real estate level. where we wanted to go and who those people were going to be, right? Who, not how, that were going to get us, that were going to come with us. Because we'll stand in front of the room and we'll let everybody know, like, your goals are not our goals. You need to get clear on what those goals are. Our job is to inspire you, not to tell you what to do. We can't motivate them, right? Like, we've talked about this.
Mhm.
We can only inspire them to be better. And if we can inspire all the people around us to be just a little bit better in their personal lives, in their business lives, in whatever struggles that they're having, like, we feel full. So our goal obviously is to hit $100 million, $100 million in sales. We will do that. Our goal next year is to hit 200 million, but we've realized those goals are through micro commitments of us leading, but the people around us who are going to rise with us, right? Rising tides raises all boats. And we know that if we can continue to inspire and lead by example and do the things we don't want to do, because trust us, there's 90% of the things we do on a daily basis, like, we'd rather be up at the lake getting towed on the back of the boat than drinking Bloody Marys at 10 o'clock in the morning.
We don't do that.
You know, and we heard this quote. It was, discipline will carry you when motivation can't or won't. Discipline will carry you when motivation won't. So as long as you're disciplined and you do those things repetitively, and I say it's work, it's not sexy. Doing the same thing every day is not sexy, right? We don't just end up on a boat. Like, we worked in 19 hours a day for 11 years to end up on the back of the boat. So it's just reminding people that the little things every day. But like you said, define what that is, be clear on it, live and breathe your calendar, put those things in it. Don't waver on that. I mean, obviously we have lives, we have families, things come up, but being clear, like crystal clear on what you want for yourself and the people around you.
Yeah. I think that's the big component too, right? You know, we hear, commitment. And yeah, it is commitment, but what are you committing to? Do you know what that means, right? So I know you're definitely on the endurance side of things, and Bruce as well, professional snowboarder. And so, committing to those things. But I think where a lot of people get tripped up is that they don't understand what they're saying they're committing to, and therefore they don't push through it when it gets real hard.
Yeah.
So if you've got somebody that's trying to say, hey, I'm going to commit, how do you help them get clear?
Go ahead, big guy.
It's accountability, right? So that's that 100-0 mantra. We are, held them accountable weekly, to their goals, not ours, to their numbers, what they want to hit, what they want to do. And if they don't hit it, it's like, all right, well, we did your dream board, right? In the beginning of the year, like, what things off that dream board are you going to take off because you're not holding up yourself to those commitments that you made for yourself, not to us, right? I mean, you declare them to us, but they're really for you. And we're just here to help you be accountable, right? We're their accountability buddies, and likewise, right? Like, so that's the things that we try to, help them see, right, and get clear on that vision, because I think it's super important, and I think that vision evolves for a lot of people, and it even did for us, right? Like, at one point it's one thing, but then as you get into it, it morphs and it becomes something else. So, like, and for me personally, it's morphed into, like, well, how many people can we help, and how many lives can we change around us by doing what we're doing? I think that's the most powerful and impactful thing that can happen in one's life. And when you start, like, giving back on that level, it, like, truly changes people's lives, man. And also, like, the things that I was searching for inside myself to, like, make myself whole and complete, I've realized that, like, those were the things that, like, back in the day I was doing with my, like, younger, like, cousins, and, like, trying to bring them up, right? Giving them the knowledge. I've already been there and done it. Like, look, show them, like, this is the way you do this, right? So they don't get hurt, or they can, speed up the process, right? And I think that really resonated in me, like, just a couple different seminars and podcasts and, books, and you just have that realization, like, wow, I think that's what it is, I mean,
and we really, like, truly, I think, like you said, like, we're real. What you see is what you get. We don't pretend. Like, our life is not perfect. It's chaotic. It is what it is, right? But we really, truly want the best for everybody around us. Like painfully, like everybody, like just everybody. If we could help people do something that they wanted to do and didn't have the guts to do it, it's a win, right? And just little things, just those little things, not asking why. We've gone on that journey, right? Why didn't you do it? Well, then you're setting them up to give you an excuse.
Or be defensive.
No excuses, right?
No excuses.
If you don't want to do it, we don't care why. We don't care that your daughter has a doctor's appointment or you have to be stuck in traffic. No excuses, right? Because then when you stop making excuses for everything or little things, ultimately you'll just stop making excuses. You'll show up. I say to the team, show up. Show up. That's it. Just show up, whether it's here or at home or where, whatever. Like, just show up. It's the first step. Once you're there, the rest will follow. You want to do something, sign up, pay for it, jump out of a plane, which Bruce has done many times. Whatever it is.
There's no need to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Right?
Well, you do not need to do that. You certainly don't need to do it without anybody attached to you either.
Yeah.
Which I've done. Sometimes you got to scare the shit out of yourself,
Yeah.
Let you know you're alive.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Yeah. It's those micro commitments, right? It's like, you want to get in shape and have a six pack. You're not going to do it by sitting on the couch eating chips, right? You got to put the work in.
And we did start doing
adjustments.
We did, what you and I talked about is we morphed the morning huddle into the goals and gratitudes, which is on video every morning by 9:00. We use Slack to communicate with our team and they get on there, right? And they show up because they're on camera and they have to be present. Doesn't matter what you look like, what everybody's obsessed with that. Like, I look horrible. Who cares? Just do it. And they put out to the group what their one thing is for the day, their goal for the day, and what they're grateful for. And, today my goal was to get on Expert Mentors with Coach Kitchen and crush it. And my gratitude was the opportunity to be with our best friends for 5 days in a beautiful place in the middle of the woods. So one thing, and we're doing it now, and then it's done. And then over the course of 365 days, those little things become huge.
They do. It is. I mean, we hear, in fact, it's a couple, mantra of, it's patience on a large scale, right? It's like the Bruce, 10, 11 year overnight success. That's patience. But daily, it's like urgency, like sprinting, like full throttle every day. And that's
me in the truck. What Goggins said.
What?
Yesterday was the toughest day of my life. Right? Every day is the toughest day of his life. Because he pushes himself that hard. Right?
Yep.
So,
and it's those little things getting a little bit better, right? It's like, I just thinking back to, holy shit, there's no way I can do a 5K.
Right.
To marathon, you're out of your mind. To
Ironman.
What? 112 miles? Swim 2.5 miles? To, as long as, and I think that's where the pursuit of being better a little bit every day, though, is in progression of setting those goals, right? So it's like, talking to agents on here, like, hey, I want to get to 100 million. Well, let's get you to 10 million first.
Yeah.
And then let's get you to 50. Then we can get you to 100. And then we can get you to 2. So I think it's understanding that each goal along the way sets up for the next one. Right. That's the multiple mountaintops.
And stripping it down to a point where it's, why is that even the goal? Is it so you can buy a lake house for your family to get away and enjoy the 11 years? Like, why are they your goals? And if like you had to, right, the foundations of 100-0 in the realm of all that was possible, could you have kept your commitment? to that goal, like stripping it down to fully understand what that is that's driving each individual, in our organization. Like, what is that?
I love that. That's a great question, because then I think it forces you to realize, is that really the goal? Is that something that I'm really willing to commit to? And I think a lot of us just jump in without knowing what that's going to be. And then it's like, well, we didn't do it. And then you're like, man, I don't like that. I ain't doing that. Right. That's not for me. And that's fine. And so you have to find, what is for you. And then is that something that you're willing to commit to? So as you mentioned, the market that you guys are in, upstate New York, right?
Yep. About 90 miles.
For some reason I keep thinking south. It's upstate.
North.
And 100 million. Why? So how come 100 million?
It was just the next milestone for us, right?
But that's a lie, because Bruce's Wi-Fi password, we won't tell you the network, but the Wi-Fi password's always been 100 million at our house, even 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's a subconscious
100 million, 100 million.
My password to one of my first MLSs when I first joined, like 2000, in the year 2000, it was sell 100 million. So
what do you think they did? I mean, that just ingrained in the subconscious, right? So that is just your belief pattern now, because it's so ingrained.
Then I didn't think it was possible, right? I was a single agent, coming off of like working for a builder full time, making a salary, building up commissions I could draw off of, to jumping off on my own, because I was giving all these leads away. No one was doing anything. I was like, shit, man, I could do this better myself, right? So I might as well just go and open my company. And I did. And it's like, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. It's
just,
I don't know.
It's the goal.
Yeah,
and then it became clear, right? He may have needed a woman that was going to step in and like really drive all these things.
The old adage they say, right? Behind every great man like myself, there's a better one.
Yeah. So Bruce is definitely the thinker. He thinks big, and I'm like, okay, wait, but we got to just like scale that back a little bit. And once I was like, okay, I'm ready, I'm committed. My kids are in a place where I feel like I can really dive in. We just we caught the wave, and now I believe, like what you say, 100 million will go to 200 million, and not everybody will come, and we say that, like, that's okay. Like the bus, we say you're either coming on the bus or you're gonna get off the bus. Like, but if we can bring everybody with us, like that's always been his thing with his family too. Like he's taking everybody. Like if we're going and you're coming,
we're going together.
We're going. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite MGK songs. Not the song, but if you watch the video, he says that in the beginning. He says, we're going to do it as family, or we're not going to do it at all. Yeah. It's so powerful. And so I think, when you look at these, and I loved what you said. I heard what you said. You thought it was impossible. That's why it became the goal. What's the purpose tied to it though? Like, getting to 100 million. And I think you've learned this along the way, because you guys are doing it, right? It's the impact that you guys are able to have, not only for the family, everybody around you, but also what it's doing within the community. And I, just messages from Lindsay saying, man, I get messages all the time. Like you said in the beginning, picking up this book. Hey, I went and started running again. And it's the impact that you guys are having. And I think that's the correlation, right? It ain't about chasing 100 million. It's about impacting more lives. And that's just an outcome, but that's not the goal.
And it's like that adage you said, like with the mountaintops, right? You get to the mountain, that 100 million might be the mountaintop, but then you look up and there's another mountain higher than that, right? And then you're going for that one.
And being in the Honey Badger group, like, right? There's people doing 1,000 deals a year. I mean, 300, 400, 500 million. Then you're like, 100 million? That's nothing. Like we gotta double that. 200 million, 300 or bust,
Yeah.
But like Bruce said, like really the core of us is to help as many people as we can. And I think, it kind of resonates with just who we are, and being better. Like we know that we also have to grow and change and do things that make us better personally. We're really open to feedback and criticism. And, we can't tell people to do something without doing it personally.
Right.
So, there's always changes happening in our organization, and we say, like, just trust us. We are doing this with you in mind always.
And some people might not be long for the ride, right? Like
That's fine.
They weed themselves out, and that is what it is. But we try to be impactful and give back, to our business, inside our business, and inside our community as well. I think it's it speaks volumes, in itself, just what we're doing, on that level, and being able to employ people, feels good, and they can take care of their families and livelihoods, and I think it all just kind of melts into the greater good, right? It's like and if we can forge that path, because that's just the type of people we are, and it's not easy. It is easy in a way, you know what I mean? It's just because we're just highly driven people, right? I mean, it's not hard for us to get uncomfortable and stay in the uncomfortability for a while and not want a result immediate, right? Not have that instant gratification, which, although it's nice sometimes, but we're not expecting that. We're just in it to just do it, right? And and what comes along with those daily wins and those micro commitments, and that's kind of where we're at with it. So
I think in organizations, we can throw it in the thread or whatever, but the 100-0 group is so good for teams. I mean, we've done it 3 times now. Now we're doing daily morning gratitudes, goals, just staying consistent with being consistent, helping our people stay consistent. Like, this is what we're going to do. You're going to own it. You're going to announce it. And I find, like, once you put it out there, well, I guess maybe that's a mindset, not for everybody, but we want to help them get there. Like, once you commit, you gotta make that happen.
Yeah.
And it's a funny thing, John, too, just thinking about it, it's like, I don't even think that, like, we feel, I know I personally, I don't feel like we're even that good yet. We always joke around, like, well, wait till we get good. Or like, right? Like, what's the other one we said? Like, we're just getting warmed up. That's the other one. We're just getting warmed up, right? And it's like, that's how we literally feel every day, no matter what, like, gains and successes we have. From an outsider, it might look like, wow, like, look at all those things that they're doing and how many homes they're selling and blah, blah, blah. But, in our mindset,
we don't know shit.
We're just getting warmed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we really don't. And we're here to grow. Like, we are here because of our want to grow and be better. Like, that's what led us here. Because we were fine, right? We were comfortable. We lived a great life, made good money.
Yeah, but now, I mean, EXP has been the vessel to be able to have access to the greatest teams and agents in the country, right? Like, at our disposal, and vice versa. We can, like, share ideas or ask questions or need a document, or how do you guys do this, or what do you do that, right? It's going back to these mountain things. It's like the person who climbed Everest first, right? It's like, after the first person that did it, the second, it was just easy, right? There was already a path laid out, and it's the same type of thing. It's the same type of mantra, for us in this business. It's like, there's people that are already at the level of success that we want to be at. Just follow the footsteps, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just
R&D, baby.
That's it. So really, you mentioned, hey, we could do this. We could, be at the lake. We don't have to show up every day. We don't have to push this hard. Like, really, what keeps the fire lit? What keeps pushing to be better? Like, what is it deep down that really pushes you guys?
I feel like we haven't impacted enough people's lives yet, right? We haven't, we just feel like we're just, like he said, we're just getting warmed up. And we have this little thing, warm me up, kid. We always say that to each other, and it started actually in Vegas at a roulette table. And we still always do it, like when we have a big meeting or, warm me up, kid. So we just feel like we're just getting started, really.
Do you think, what is your thought on, seeing, like you said, right, seeing the footprint, seeing somebody that has done it? Does that like, if they can do it, why not us? Is that?
Yeah, that's that's with anything, right? Like, you want to be in shape. Well, look at this guy. If he's challenging you in subconsciously or consciously, like, you want to be that, you can I think you can make anything possible. Anything's a possibility in life, right? You have to, it's just having that vision, right? Which is what we're talking about, and then finding out those steps along the way and to get there. I mean, I think time, obviously, right? It's our most precious commodity, right? So the more we can buy time for ourselves, I think ultimately is the goal in life. But again, impacting the most amount of people to break through whatever, like personal, business, roadblocks. I think that's just, I don't know, it's selfless, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just selfless and just like giving, like unconditionally, like that love, man, is like, there's nothing better than that, right? It's like, it doesn't get too much better than that. When you can like truly like give unconditionally, like from your heart, like.
And we tell all of our clients that we are family now. Like this is.
Yeah, we don't shake hands. We
are
hug.
our family, and our clients day one are like.
It might get a little weird in here, but
yeah, I mean, they're just we love our people. We just love our people, and where we feel blessed to be able to lead people and inspire them in any small little 1% way we can inspire them. Like that's just kind of what we feel like we're here to do. And then real estate is just the vehicle in which we're doing it, right? We buy and sell homes, we lead a team. It just happens to be real estate, but it's so much bigger than that.
And we love it. We wouldn't show up every day doing it. It's like there's some gratification, right? With sales, right? As a salesman, and that's where I started in sales, and it's just that gratification of a win, kind of, on a small daily, monthly, quarterly level, yearly level, like where you're at. And as long as we're growing and progressing in a direction that we're, shooting for, you know what I mean? I think then it's, then it's good. It's a positive, right? Awesome.
Yeah. It really is. And I mean, I love the thought there, just that, being clear on where you want to go, but what do I got to do today that's going to fall me forward just a little bit better, right? Just get me a little bit closer to where it is that I really want to be. Man, what do you guys feel as leaders that you have to do? What has to be different to get to 100's already going to happen,
right?
But what has to change to go from 100 to 200? Like where do you guys envision? Because you're already thinking forward, right? It's already thinking out big picture. That
we have to literally double our agent count is going to be a necessary step in order to have those numbers. Track some of the hopefully some quality agents and that fit into our core values, right, and our mantra. And the systems and processes, obviously, and the people, right? We have to have the right people and admin staff and support to support the growth. I mean, we know it's going to break. Like I mean, like every system's going to come to a capacity at some point. It's like, all right, well, just figure it out and fix it when it breaks, right? So it just like we've learned that like there's no time to like stop and get it perfect and then start adding people, and then it's just like just fuck it, man. Let's go. Like put the gas on the fire and let's do it, right? Like and let's figure it out. I mean, it's like you said, the blueprint's there. We just have to plug into it and find the right people to help us. Providing that the market stays consistent. I mean, even in a down market, I think we're at such an unfair advantage with this company. Going through COVID and shutdowns, and like we plugged away the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and our business sped up; it didn't slow down.
Yep.
Right. So it's the same, adage. Even in a down market, the top producers still produce.
Right.
Right. So it's just like being consistent and plugging away and adding.
We know it's the people, right? It's the people you put in the organization, like. That's what it comes down to, and we are just the leaders because. That's just our role here, but we know that we can't do anything without the people underneath us. And like, we don't take that for granted ever.
Yeah. It's a weekly commit. We meet with them weekly, and daily and check in and say, what's going on, what you need to tweak, what can we do better, and the communication's key. It's just like having that open channel, and then them understanding where we're trying to go and do is important as well. Right. So
why. Right. And why we're trying to do it. And it's not, Bruce and Lindsay want to stack their bank account. It's not even about that. Right. No. And I think that's, they truly understand that. And that's the thing that I see where a lot of leaders fail is that they're not transparent in the vision of what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And ultimately it is about impacting as many lives as humanly possible. And, we all have it in us to be able to do it. And, some struggle, the self ignition is not there. And for most people, it's not, right. You have that, environment is stronger than willpower. You have to have the right circumstance to be able to ignite that environment, right, so that, that you can give more, you can do so much more. And it's I always say this, the real constraint is the constraint in thinking. And most people don't think big enough. And so 100 million. Okay, cool. 200 million. Okay, cool. 500 million. Okay, cool. We'll figure it out. Right. It's just, for your present to be better, your future has to be bigger. And most people don't think about a bigger future. And that's where it has to start.
Well, I think
the future has to be bigger.
Yeah. And they're stuck. A lot of them are stuck in the present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Past,
right. Or the past. We're all stuck in the past, right? Mom and dad, then this, and my life, and the things that happened. It's okay. Yeah. Right? It's okay. Yeah, Al Stasic said he posted a video the other day, it's okay not to be okay. Yeah. That's okay too. Yeah. But use it to move you forward.
Yeah. And I think it's being authentic, right, to yourself, and not trying to be somebody else on a video camera, right? Hey, happy Friday, right? Just do you, right? Do John Kitchens. I'll do me, Lindsay will do her, and not trying to be someone you're not, and pretend, because then when they meet you in person, it's well, this person's different. They're not even talking now, right? Or yeah. You know what I mean? So I think being authentic is a huge key point, and using those crutches, so to speak, as a catapult, man. Owning it. Once you own that and can use it to your advantage, I think the world's
what you said a while ago, right? I mean, it's built on trust. And my favorite definition of trust is authenticity times time.
Yeah.
That's what builds trust.
Yeah.
And we are in the most transparent time that we've ever lived. And it's only going to become more and more transparent.
You can't be 4 different people anymore, right? I'm this person to this person, but I'm going to be this person to this person, right? And I'll go out and I'll be this person, party girl, and I'll be this, right? It's the internet here, man. That's it. Yeah. You're going to get caught out one of the days, right? You're going to go viral, and everyone's going to know who you really are. That's life.
It is, and I mean, the power of transparency, and I mean, you guys know, I mean, I'm, definitely a huge Nipsey Hussle fan. And, that's one of the things that he was talking about, right? From the gang violence, he goes, the cops stopped giving a shit. They just put up cameras.
Right.
They wouldn't respond to anything. They just put up cameras. Then they'll come get you the next day. And so I was running through the neighborhood, kind of that last little run through the neighborhood the other day. And there's this place in the park, and it's always destroyed. And because that's where the kids go. Mm-hmm. That's where the teenagers go. That's where they go to hang out. And it's always destroyed, broken. Something's broken, or there's trash everywhere. And I'm like, and I see in the comments, parents bitching about it. And I'm like, why are y'all bitching? Just put up some cameras. That'll stop. Right. That's transparency. Everybody's being revealed for who they really are. And, so how are you choosing to show up?
And reveal yourself, 100%. Right? One of my favorite expert mentors, which everybody watching should watch, you and Veronica Figueroa. I loved it. It was one of my favorites. And I think being true to her through the very few interactions I've had with her, she discovered who she was, and she was vulnerable. And look, just the growth of herself by owning who she was. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what we do. I mean, that's what.
Because you're a human, right? Then it becomes relatable, because everyone has shared some similar experiences, I'm sure, in some capacity, right? So
we all have a mess.
Yeah. That's it.
We all have a mess.
Just be a mess.
That's it, man.
Yeah. And I think too, if we can help anybody here, be accountable. I was just an accountability partner for 2 people I don't even know. I don't even know where they live. And they said, I need an accountability buddy. I said, here I am. And they text me every day. And so find somebody. If you don't have a team, I'll do it. My phone number is 845-204-4447. Yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you need that. Like, you just need to be accountable, and I don't know.
Dude, I mean, that's the only way we grow. I mean, the 1%, if you don't have the accountability, accountability to ourselves, but like, if you don't have that accountability, and this is the biggest thing too, because I know, from an endurance standpoint and the tough stuff that you guys have even, that you deal with, it's more powerful to, like, you can't think about the end result. Like, you can only focus on the moment. You can only focus on right now. And what's even more powerful is that when you focus on that person right beside you, and that allows you to get through anything tough, where most people, that self-pity, they're only worried about themselves. You want to get through that shit, you start worrying about that person right beside you that's right there with you. They're struggling, in the struggle with you.
Yeah.
And you take it off of you and you stop thinking about yourself. You stop worrying about yourself. And man, when you have that, and so that's where the accountability piece comes in, right? If you have that accountability person, you're like, I can't let that person down.
Because there's always somebody out there that has it worse, man, right?
Always.
You might be in the darkest, deep pit of your life, but there's someone out there that's got it worse, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just pick yourself up and just move forward, right? And find people to help you if you need help. That's it.
Yeah. I think that's the key too, right? Is being humble enough to reach out, right? There's even in this group, there's a ton of badasses in this group.
Totally.
No doubt.
Yeah. Totally.
But every one of them knows, should know that we need help to get to that next level. We really do. Yeah, for sure. 1%. So what's that?
Just 1% every day.
1%, just 1%, just a little bit better every day. And, that's the thing. You have to find, I love the 3 M's, what is, who's the mentor, right? If you're struggling in anything, like who's that mentor that you can look to? The success leaves clues, like you shared about. Is there a better model that I can model after, the R&D? And am I in the right group? Am I in the right mastermind? The 3 M's, mentor, model, mastermind. And that'll give you the blueprint, pave the path. And then it's on you, right? To take that one step,
Do the
1%
work.
better.
Do the
Put in the work.
Show up.
And put in the work. Put in the work. Yeah, that is key. So as man, you guys are awesome. What as we're kind of wrapping up here, is there any, final key things that we really want to emphasize and drive home as we kind of wrap up this conversation?
Yeah, I think it's just, getting clear, right? Defining your why. Goals are great, but what is the goal for? Focusing on that, writing it down, spend time with yourself. You had us do the same exercise independently, and making sure it's for you and for nobody else, right? Like, you have to make sure the things you're chasing are for yourself, and then coming up with a plan on how you're going to get there. And I think a lot of that it's obviously consistency. It's obviously the work, and it's the same repetitive motions day in and day out. Finding an accountability partner. I mean, get a coach, like just somebody you can lean on, and you're our accountability buddy. I have a triathlon coach. Like, I'm not afraid. I want to be coached. Like, I want to learn. I'm always seeking to learn. We
know we're not, I know I need coaches. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to say that, I need help, like, for sure. Like, cause I get distracted easily. I'm not, it's just life, right? Like, I get pulled in 8 million different directions all day. We got projects going on, flips, sales, this, that, the other thing. It's like, to stay focused, you need someone to keep you focused.
It's a who, right? It's a who factor. It always is a who factor. And especially, for you, Bruce and anybody else listening in, that's a big visionary that thinks big. It's not how am I going to do it? It's who do I need to help me get through this? And I believe, as well as in coaches, I've got an endurance ultra triathlete coach as well. coaching programs. And I'm already always thinking like, I know I need another coach in this area who, I need to find a who to help me, really work through the mess and work through to be, the opportunity to be a little bit better each and every day.
Yeah. And I think if you're leading a team, really stripping down the goals and the calls and the appointments set and appointments met, and like, we just kind of like threw that out the window. Yes. Do we want them to make their calls, make their connections? Yes. But what can we do to help them define what their daily commitments are, goals and gratitudes, and help them achieve those little things every day? Because if you can do that and help them understand why they're doing it and be accountable to them and help them be accountable to us, then, those little things, they'll start feeling the shift in their personal lives. And when your life is good, your business is good, right? Mm-hmm. Then you show up because you're happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so good. I want you to wrap with this. So you started that morning video accountability. You shared, what's your one thing and what you're grateful for. Tell them the end of the day. How do you close out the day? Because this is so important, right? Is that, this is the autopsy every day. You want to get 1% better. You have to stop and reflect back on, did I do what I said I was going to do today to allow me to be 1% better? So it's the start, but it's also the bookend. Share what the bookend is.
Goals and gratitudes in the morning and success and struggles at night. So your success, did you keep your commitment or your goal or whatever? And you struggled. Great. We all struggle every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's okay.
Yeah.
Putting it out there to the group, right? I mean, it sets it on a different level of accountability. Now you're putting it out there to the whole team, and the team can call you out or help you or, comment on it. And we've been seeing a lot of comments on the videos. So there's engagement inside the group now. So now it's like, well, I'm not just putting it out there to Bruce and Lindsay, it's to the whole team, right? Yeah. And our infrastructure.
And I loved it the first day we did it because, I was feeling like, the morning huddle was like, ugh. And once I saw the videos coming through and like hearing their voice and seeing them, because we're always preaching video too, but now it's like, it will help them become more comfortable.
The habit.
Right.
Yeah. This is my commitment for the day. They're driving, they're here, they're there. They're
matter.
Right.
It's just like, and I'm like, matter. I love these people.
I want to emphasize to everybody as we're wrapping up. I knew this was going to be a great conversation, but definitely exceeded kind of where I thought it was going to go. And what I want everybody to understand, what Bruce and Lindsay are doing is that they're creating a culture. And their job as leaders, number one, is to create the culture, develop the people, and then, stay committed to the numbers. That's how we grow. And those are 1, 2, 3 as a leader are the most important things. And they're living it. They're living it. They're living the culture that they want to create. And man, it's fascinating to be a part of, and definitely they are extreme givers. And so anything that you guys need tuning in, any questions, make sure you connect with both Bruce and Lindsay. And man, I really appreciate you guys jumping in and adding a ton of value to the Honey Badger Nation.
Thank you so much, Coach Kitchens. And for real, if anybody needs anything,
definitely reach out.
We are an open book. So happy to help in any way we can.
Love it. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. See ya.
Peace.
Take care.